still here. Congrats. We are wrapping up Influencer School, and I'm so proud of you for sticking with it and continuing on with these lessons. I promise we are almost done, and we're going to go through a few more little tips and tricks for you. But first, in today's lesson, we're going to talk about being a little camera shy. So, how do you get comfortable in front of the camera? Let's practice. The first thing I want you to do is just take out your phone and start recording yourself just doing random tasks throughout the day and talking about your day on your phone. So that is a great place to start if you're just like really feeling uncomfortable with talking to a camera. You have to get used to it. Talk to your camera, get used to it. Maybe you do this for, let's say, even 14 days. I know that sounds like a lot, but depending on how comfortable you are, that could be a goal for you. Set a goal. You're going to talk to your camera X days, and I'm just going to set up my camera, do certain tasks, talk about my day, and practice doing that and just talking to that camera. And I promise you're going to feel more comfortable by the end, and then you're going to get ready to actually post what you're talking about. I will say, even coming from me, it took me a really long time to get comfortable talking in front of the camera. And as soon as I stop, you get out of the habit and that uncomfortableness comes back. So just remember, you're not the only one that gets a little camera shy. It took me a really long time to get comfortable. At one point, I was creating all of this content, but I wasn't posting it. And that was such a shame. And by the time I started posting it, the way that video formatting was working, it was already irrelevant. So just stay up to date with what is trending right now and how people are formatting their content. And just don't be afraid to put yourself out there is the biggest advice I can give you. When you show up authentically as yourself, that's usually when I get the most feedback from people, that they are enjoying my content. They love watching my stories. They feel like they're getting to know me better. And you will notice it. You'll start talking to people and they'll be like, oh, that camera you were talking about on your stories, is that the camera that you're using today? And you'll be like, oh, they're watching my stories. So people are watching and listening, and sometimes you might not realize they are, but they are. So just keep that in mind and just don't take yourself too seriously. You really can't try to be perfect on social media. And if you don't be perfect, people are honestly going to like you more because you're going to show up authentically and organically. Okay, so we're going to start again, like I said, practicing talking to our phone on our camera. And we're not posting any of these. We're just going to record them. Now you're going to watch them back. And I know you're going to be like, Lauren, that is so cringe. I hate the sound of my voice. I don't like the way I look. But you're not the only one. You guys, I have worked with so many people recording videos for them. And I don't think anyone has ever been like, oh, yeah, I love the way I look. My voice sounds great. Like, let's post it, girl. No, that is never the case. It's always the opposite. And they're like, oh, my God, Lauren, like, I hate this video, but post it. And you just get comfortable with it. It's just a matter of getting used to seeing yourself on camera. And you just have to give it time and give yourself grace is the biggest thing I can recommend. But it's important to watch back. You might be doing a weird tick that you didn't know about, or you might see something about yourself and be like, okay, next time I'm going to do this and not this, whatever it is. But you need to get used to hearing yourself on camera. I promise. The more you listen to yourself on camera, the more you're not going to hate the sound of your voice. You just get used to it. Again, it's really just a matter of feeling a little uncomfortable to get your content out, and you're going to become more comfortable with time. So now that we have practiced recording videos in our phone and watching them back, we're ready for the real deal. We're going to start posting. Now, what I recommend is just to start with talking on your stories. Stories is a great way to organically show up, talk about your day, what's going on. And it can be simple tasks. And I promise you're like, but Lauren, my life is boring. I do mundane tasks and nothing exciting is happening. I promise you, the right people will watch your stuff. You will have an audience. I promise. once you start watching other people's stuff, they're pretty much doing the same things that you're doing throughout the day. There's really nothing that special about what they do in their day over you. So keep that in mind and don't be afraid to just share your day. Give people a little laugh if you have a funny story that happened to you. Whatever it is, going on your stories and just chatting with your audience is a great way to build that community engagement we talked about. Show up as yourself. And it's a really great place to start when you're trying to record yourself, because people are not looking for perfection when it comes to stories. They're looking for someone showing up as themselves. Even if that's you as a hot mess, they want to see it. They want to know you're a real person, and it brings that human feeling and element to your videos, that you're not just some random person talking through the screen. And they're going to start to feel that connection and build that bond with you through the camera. I know that sounds a little weird and crazy, but it's true. People will feel like they know you. Like the creators that you follow, you'll start to be like, yeah, I love that person. Like they're a great human. I can tell you about their whole family and all these things, let's say. But that means that you've built that bond with that person, that connection. You want to support their business. You want to support them as a human being. And that's kind of what we're going for. We want them to relate to you. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can also give you is to just act like you're talking to your friend. So when you go to talk to your stories, you're just talking to your friend and you're on FaceTime, whatever it is. That is a great way to look at filming yourself. You're just talking to your friend. And another big thing is to just give yourself grace, man. Nobody is perfect. Nobody usually likes the way they look or appear on the camera or their voice, like I said. But remember, people want to see who you are. So just give yourself grace. I know it can be a little cringy at first, but just do it and thank me later. And honestly, this might sound harsh, but get over yourself. That is another great piece of advice I can give you. Do not take yourself too seriously. Go with it. Push yourself to get out of your comfort zone, because it will become easier the longer you go and the longer you push yourself to make this video content. I promise you're going to become more comfortable, but sometimes I get sick and tired of people being like, oh, well, I just don't like the sound of my voice, or I don't like the way I look. Get over yourself, push yourself, and do the dang video, okay, y'all? You can do it, I promise. It's not that hard. You just got to show up. And if you really want it, if you really want to build that community engagement, you will get on there and you will do it, okay? I promise. So the more that you show up, the easier it's going to become for you. You'll find your comfort, but it just takes practice. And honestly, you just got to show up. So now that I'm done with my passionate speech on showing up in front of the camera, let's talk about some phone equipment that you can do to elevate your videos and to help you stand out. Like I said earlier, lighting is so important. If I was going to pick out two things that were important for your video, it'd be lighting and it would be audio. Make a huge difference in the quality of your videos, I promise. So a free version is to, like I said before, find natural light, find a window that you can stand in front of. It's a great option to create a great light source for yourself. If you don't have that available, though, there are so many things that you can buy as attachments for your phone to bring up some lighting. And I will drop a little picture here of the one that I personally like to use for iPhone videos. It's a great little tool just because it's so lightweight, compact, easy to travel with, but an awesome option if you're looking for something small, affordable, and easy to travel with. The next item I'm going to share on my iPhone equipment list would be this iPhone tripod. I love this tripod because you can use it as a tripod on a desk, let's say, on some sort of surface, but it also gets really tall. So if you need to place it on the floor and you're doing like a full body shot, let's say, it can still capture that. And it's so compact. I love traveling with this tripod as well because it just gets so small and it's lightweight again. I love this as an option. You can also do great overhead shots if you're trying to film something on a desk and you're like cooking or whatever it is. Overhead shots are also an option with this tripod. It's very versatile. It also has a little remote if you want to click to start your videos, or if you're trying to do photos and you have your tripod set up, you can just click the remote button to take a photo. Super great. Love traveling with these items, and I love using these when I'm creating content on my own and I might not have somebody to help me. And the last piece of equipment I'm going to share is also the most expensive, but there are more affordable options out there if this is not in your budget. But I recommend just going all out baller in your microphone system. So Rode is a wonderful brand if you're looking for high quality sound. I personally use the Rode Wireless Go 2 system. And the reason why I love this system is because it has a transmitter and 2 receivers. What does that mean? That means you can have 2 people mic'd up at the same time and get both of their audio quality. I find that this is harder to find if you are wanting to find a nice mic system and record 2 people at the same time. So I highly recommend this. You can use it on your phone and on a camera, which is another great reason why I like it. I use it on both options when I'm trying to get good quality from a camera or my phone. It's very easy to use. So if you're like, oh, this is just too much for me, I promise I watched one YouTube tutorial on how to use this and boom, I'm an expert at it. It's easy. There's a few buttons for you to press. And once you set it up, you really don't need to mess with it ever again. So I highly, highly recommend this microphone system. And the cool thing about it is if you are looking for maybe a more professional look, you can buy an attachment lapel mic. So that's what I have as well. I have that option to mic up 2 people with lapels. If I'm doing more of like a business professional video, then I will use my lapel mics. Otherwise, the little square cubes, you can also clip those onto people. They are as well microphones. So you have different ways to use it. You don't have to buy the lapel attachments, but you can. It's an option. I love these microphones, though. They are my tried and true. I use them all the time for any sort of videos on my phone or my camera. But if you're like, Lauren, this is just not in my budget, don't worry. There are tons of great other options you can find on Amazon. Now, I can't say that the sound quality will be as high, but there are lots of good options. So if anything, what I recommend is just do not use the microphone built into your phone. Always have some sort of microphone system that you're using for your videos. It's automatically going to make you sound better, more crisp, more high quality video if that's what you're going for, which who isn't going for more high quality videos? I mean, that's the goal, right? There are different options for different price points, but what I recommend is just don't just film with your sound quality from your phone. You can find something affordable if the Rode system is too expensive for you. Okay, so we're going to kind of recap what we just talked about, but it's going to be your homework assignment. So if you are new to talking in your videos, then start with talking and recording yourself in your camera roll app, okay? After that, you're going to watch them, and then you're going to show up. You're going to push yourself to start showing up on your stories. And maybe your goal is to start talking on your stories every day. Just talk, y'all. Just do it. You're going to be fine. I promise. People are going to love seeing you show up on your stories. You might feel cringy at first, but I promise you'll get over the feeling. And people are going to love seeing you show up on social media. Remember, when you're talking, just share something about your day, something funny, maybe relatable, a life hack you learned that day. It can literally be anything. Just get on your stories and start talking. You got to start somewhere. So get out there. You got this. And I will see you in the next lesson.